President Donald Trump, in a Twitter rant on Sunday morning, repeated his charge that he's a target of witch hunt when it comes to the Russia investigation, as a new report revealed a previously unreported meeting between campaign officials and Russians. The president again defended himself against special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into whether he obstructed justice in the Russia investigation and retweeted several of his previous tweets slamming former FBI Director James Comey and Hillary Clinton. Witch hunt. There was no Russian collusion. Oh, I see, there was no Russian collusion, so now they look for obstruction on the no Russian collusion. The phony Russian collusion was a made-up hoax. Too bad they didn't look at crooked Hillary like this. Double standard, he wrote on Sunday morning. Trump lawyer Rudy Giuliani was on the Sunday Morning Affairs shows to defend the president and bash Mueller's investigation. They can investigate from here to Timbuktu. They're not going to find a darn thing, the former New York City mayor told CBS Face the Nation. Giuliani also repeated his charge for the investigation to be investigated. I believe that the Mueller investigation should be investigated. Not because necessarily of Mueller, but because of its genesis in this very now, completely, almost illegal and unethical probe, this Russia probe, he told CNN State of the Union. The latest defense from the president and his team comes after an inspector general report from the Department of Justice found Comey acted improperly. It also follows a report from The Washington Post that quotes former Trump campaign advisor Roger Stone as saying he met with a Russian man during the presidential campaign who wanted $2 million in exchange for damaging information on Clinton. Stone met with the man in May 2016 in Florida, which was set up by Trump campaign aide Michael Caputo. The meeting was previously unreported. Stone said he rejected the man's offer. "You don't understand Donald Trump," Stone said he told the man. "He doesn't pay for anything." Stone told Caputo the meeting was a waste of time. Mueller is investigating the meeting, Caputo told the Post, and noted prosecutors asked him about it last month. Both Stone and Caputo alleged the man, who called himself Henry Greenberg, was an FBI informant. If you believe that Greenberg took time off from his long career as an FBI informant to reach out to us in his spare time, I have a bridge in Brooklyn that I want to sell you, Caputo told the newspaper. Stone said, "I didn't realize it was an FBI sting operation at the time, but it sure looks like one now." Records do not indicate that Greenberg, a Russian national, was an FBI informant, the Post reported. The documents do show he worked as informant in the past, but stopped doing so after 2013. Share this article. Share. Greenberg denied to the Post that he was working on behalf of the FBI during the meeting. The meeting came at the same time as other episodes in which Russian interests approached the Trump campaign. Stone and Caputo's interactions with Greenberg mean that at least 11 Trump associates or campaign officials have acknowledged connecting with a Russian during the election season or presidential transition, according to the Post. Stone and Caputo told the Post in separate interviews they also did not disclose the Greenberg meeting during testimony before the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence because they had forgotten about it. Meanwhile, Team Trump continued to shift the focus onto actions of the FBI during the presidential election. Former Trump advisor Steve Bannon said Attorney General Jeff Sessions needs to appoint a special prosecutor to examine actions taken by the FBI during that time. The Attorney General of the United States, Jeff Sessions, good friend of mine, on Monday, "He's got to put a special prosecutor on this," Bannon said on ABC's This Week, in reference to a section of the IG report that quoted texts between two FBI agents that did not want Trump to win the presidency. "He has to put a special prosecutor. And that special prosecutor ought to call for a grand jury and panel a grand jury and go with it. By the way, if he does not, I think the President of the United States, under Title II, ought to order him to do it," Bannon said. "This is to unearth the cover-up. This is to get sunshine and accountability in this process. This IG report is just the beginning," he added. Bannon also said the president has never lied. "Not to my knowledge, no," he said. I think he speaks in a particular vernacular that connects to people in this country." The release of a Justice Department Inspector General report on Thursday, what Trump called a horror show, added more fuel to the White House's return fire flamethrower. "Maybe more importantly than anything, it totally exonerates me," Trump said on Friday of the 568-page tome. "There was no collusion, there was no obstruction, and if you read the report you'll see that. What you'll really see is you'll see bias against me in millions and tens of millions of my followers. That is really a disgrace." House Oversight and Government Reform Committee Chairman Trey Gowdy was asked if the report exonerates Trump. "It certainly helps him," he said. The report showed Comey presided over an agency where senior officials talked privately about how much they hated Trump and how far they would go to stop him from winning the White House. Peter Strzok and Lisa Page in particular were faulted for their biases. Thursday's bombshell report outlined conversations between Strzok and Page that had never before seen the light of day. In one message on August 8, 2016, Strzok reassured Page that she needn't worry about Trump winning the White House. "Trump is not ever going to become president, right? Right?" Page texted Strzok. No, he's not. "We'll stop it," he responded. Trump has repeatedly tweeted the IG report exonerates him. The IG report is a total disaster for Comey, his minions and sadly, the FBI. Comey will now officially go down as the worst leader, by far, in the history of the FBI, he wrote. "I did a great service to the people in firing him." Trump also boasted that good instincts led him to give Comey his walking papers amid political partisanship in the FBI and expressed confidence that his replacement, Christopher Wray, will restore order to the agency. Mueller is investigating whether Trump's firing of Comey was an attempt to obstruct the Russian investigation.